Hello everyone and welcome back to Zero Cut Profiles. We're back in the regular NR format. There's more Hydroland NR decks to cover, but for now we're taking a little break and checking out something from the Google form, which, if you don't know, I made to allow you to submit your decks to ZCP and see if they appear. And of course, you'll get credit if you want it. Today, the submission is by Monty Tribal, who submitted Rock Raider, which is an impressive strategy using generators and rock monsters, of which there are plenty of them. We have a 60 card pile right here. So without further ado, let's get into the card by card. We have one Nemesis Keystone, which is great for a banish for Gaia Plate the Earth Giant, which we'll get to a little bit later, and it can allow you to cycle your banished monsters. Next we have Adamancer Peter Seeker at 3, which is great for getting more rocks onto the field from the top of your deck. We have Triple Kartoran, Hidden Gem of the Seafront, which is a revival, but mainly it gives you an extra normal summon of an earth or water. We have one Neospatian Grand Mole that can take amazing advantage of this, turning Kartoran's extra normal summon into a bounce. We have Sentry Soldier of Stone, which is a rock tribal revival every single turn, which is great as long as we haven't gone too far deep into our extra deck. Double Gigantes, which cannot be special summoned by Adamancipators, but it can be a free rock. And if it's destroyed by battle, you can destroy all spells and traps on the field, which doesn't come up nearly as often, but is still very nice. Triple Planet Pathfinder, which is an earth and allows us to search for our boss stage. One Revival Golem, which is a great mill for Miracle Rupture. Tackle Crusader for the same reason. Triple Adamancipator Analyzer, which is another Adamancipator name and is a free special summon, barring our opponent controlling a monster. We have Triple Adamancipator Crystal Dragite, which is a water rock, which can be normal summoned with Kartoran, or if it's excavated and special summoned, mainly by an Adamancipator, you can draw a card, and if it's in your graveyard, you can cycle Water Synchros to put it on top of your deck. We have Triple Rock Band Xenoguitar, which if it's sent to the graveyard, you can bring a rock back from the graveyard to your hand, then place a card from your hand on top of the deck. And if it's banished from field or grave, another good target for Gaia Plate, you can mill any rock. We have a Shell Knight, where if it is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard by a card effect that is a different, you can add a level 8 rock like Gaia Plate from your deck to your hand. We have Shining Peacephilia, a level 4 light rock, which unfortunately isn't able to be normal summoned by Kartoran, but is great for searching cards. You gain effects based off of the number of peace counters on it. Place a monster from your deck on top of your deck, draw a card, add one monster from your deck to your hand, add one card from your deck to your hand, which is amazing. We have Gaia Plate the Earth Giant, which is an amazing 2800 attack, level 8 monster that can be special summoned by removing any 2 rocks from your graveyard, and during the standby phase, you have a maintenance cost. And any monster that battles this card has its attack and defense halved, which is amazing for beating over strong boss monsters. We have Triple Utgarda Generator Boss of Delusions, which is the rock type generator, and I think you can understand why we're playing it. We have Triple Lightning Vortex, a great piece of removal, one Adamancipator Friends, Triple Miracle Rupture, Triple Generator Boss Stage, Double Adamancipator Laputite, which all monsters gain 500 attack and defense, great stat line boost. Once per turn during your main phase, you can take up to 5 Adamancipator cards from your deck and place them on top of your deck in any order, allowing you to top deck things for following turns like Seeker and Analyzer, or to allow you to set up a Dragite for extra advantage. We have Triple Torrential, Triple Rock Bombardment, which is another rock mill tool that just burns a bit. We mainly care about that cost though. Triple Paleozoic Dynamiscus, one Lost Wind, Triple Super Team Buddy Force Unite, which allows you to special summon a monster from your hand or graveyard with the same type as a monster you control as long as it has a different name. You can even do this on your opponent's monsters, although it doesn't come up nearly as often. And if it's destroyed in the spell and trap zone, you can set a Super Team Buddy Force Unite directly from your deck, so you're almost never going to be without this card once you get it. Finally, we have one Triamid Pulse, and once per turn you can banish 2 cards from your graveyard, any combination of rocks or field spells, then activate one of these effects. Target a face-up card on the field, destroy it. Target 1 rock in your graveyard, special summon in defense, or target up to 3 field spells in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. We're not really going to be able to use that last effect but those first two effects are very enticing. Finally, when we get to the extra deck, we have one Crystron Amatrix, a level 5 monster, great. We have a Stardust Charge Warrior, a White Aura Dolphin, which is a water synchro for Adamancipator Crystal Dragite. We have Hyper Psychic Riser, which is a generic level 6 synchro. Monsters with less attack than this card cannot attack. Also, neither player can activate the effects of face-up monsters on the field with more attack than this card. And if it's destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, you can tie a tuner and a non-tuner in your graveyard with the same type and attribute, add them to your hand. So this card has some very interesting applications when it comes to an all-rock tribal deck. No pun intended on the man who submitted this. We have Psy-Frame Lord Zeta, one of the best level 7 synchros in the format. We have an Enlightenment Paladin, which is the only good generic level 8 synchro. We have one Gigantic Castle, a rock level 9 synchro, which can be made to have more than 3,000 attack, another great beat stick. We have one Heartland Draco for cleaning up games and also has a decent rank 4 in its own right. We have number 52 Diamond Crab King, another giant beat stick that happens to be a rock. We have a number 70 Malevolent Sin, which is the best rank 4 in the format. Asophiel, which is the second best. Codebreaker Virus Swordsman, one of the best in the format, only to Pit Knight early contesting it. We have one Geonator Transverser, a rock, and can also allow us to give our opponent some great things to beat over, as well as Triple Burst Dragon, a Link 3, one of the best, and Berserker of the Tenyi, the other best. So the extra deck is a very nice combination of good stuff. Hyper Psychic Riser, in particular, is a very interesting choice, but we'll see how it plays out. So without further ado, let's hop in to our first duel against Numby. Now, normally this is a best of 1, if you don't know, and our format is a best of 1 format, so hopefully we can take it today. Now, we're just waiting on Numby to be ready, and I'm really hoping we can get off some Adamancipators. I'm hoping we can summon Gaia Plate the Earth Giant. So, now that we are still waiting, I suppose I can talk a little bit about upcoming announcements. I have a Discord server that's in the works, if it's not already released. But this Discord server is very exciting for me. I'm hoping to really... Oh, there's the duel. Okay, so no too many spoilers. Perfect. Numby begins, and we are going first. That way we can start with our combos. So, the interesting thing about Rock in NR is that it is not bad. There's just not a specific payoff for it. So see, we have an interesting hand here, where unfortunately I don't think we have much to do other than Planet Pathfinder, grab Boss Stage, and pass. Triumid Pulse is a very good draw. We can use it to recycle our rocks. Oh, actually we can use that third effect. I forgot we were playing Laputite. Forgot this was a field spell. So we are going to go ahead and grab Boss Stage, activate Boss Stage, and then finally we are going to set 2, and hopefully our opponent will try to destroy our Super Team Buddy Force Unite. We're going to get an Utgarda off, which is great, and it allows this boss stage to be very functional. So hopefully we can activate it. Come on, unless they have MST, this is going to be very hard. So we have Utgarda, Generator Boss of Delusion. Very high defensive stat. Activate boss stage. And here we go. Hopefully an MST is... Oh no, an MST is coming our way. This Utgarda is not nearly as successful as I was hoping it would be, but that is okay. We're gonna have to see what we can do with this one. Now that we've lost our boss stage, we are in a very bad spot. We have a light rock, same original type, gingerbread house. Uh-oh, this is the Numby special right here. And we are going to get to see it in full force. We have metal foes, which is terrifying. Metal Foes ignites, similar to a previous week, and I'm hoping that we can take full advantage of it. So the ignite's going to get popped. Setting. Come on, what are we setting? What are we setting? The Metal Foes counter. Hopefully, Gingerbread House does trigger during the standby phase, so our Utgarda will be falling, unfortunately. What's important to know for Super Team Buddy Force Unite is that it does not require it to be set. So, If we activate it in response to an MST, which we won't unfortunately have the chance to, we're going to have to figure out something to do here. This hand was not the best all the time. Oh, how lovely. So Gingerbread House is going to activate. And unfortunately, we don't have a good way to chain and summon the other Utgarda. But we might have an option to being able to do something like this. Interesting. We're going to have to figure this one out here. I don't think there's much we can do. He gains 500 life points. Then activate one of these effects. Try to rock in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. I think we have a way to get back the Utgarda. It would require a little bit of finagling, if you get what I mean. So we are going to go... I'd rather get rid of the Gingerbread House, if I'm being completely honest. So we're going to go target face-up card. We're going to banish the Utgarda, banish the boss stage to destroy the Gingerbread House. And unfortunately, this will trigger the counter. But I think that the counter is more manageable than the Gingerbread House, which is the statement I have never said before in my life. Hopefully we can keep these Metal Foes plays under control. It's not looking good for us. We did not draw very well. We drew multiple 1-ups that we don't need. Metal Foes Volflame is hitting the field. We can go Nemesis Keystone, which allows us to target the Utgarda. We can shuffle it back into the deck and special summon this, the Keystone. Now, we have Super Team Buddy Force Unite, which we could use, but unfortunately, we don't have enough ways. Yes, we do, actually. So we are going to go Kartorhin, Normal Summon, and then we can go Super Team Buddy Force Unite, targeting the Nemesis Keystone, to special summon. Come on, what are we special summoning? I know it's the Utgarda. Uh-oh, Ignite Burst. You can destroy up to 3 other Ignite cards you control, then return an equal number of cards your opponent controls to the hand. Interesting. So you can special summon the Utgarda, and these 2 Ignite cards are very terrifying. However, we do have something we can do. We can Utgarda, or we can Geonator Transverser. And I am thinking with this Ignite Burst up on the field, we might just have to Utgarda. So we're going to go Utgarda, tributing the other 2 rock monsters, and we are going to banish the Metal Foes Melcaster. And that's pretty much all we can do. I don't really trust this Ignite Burst, which is terrifying. But I'm hoping we can make it work. We're in a very down position, but this Triamid Pulse should be super helpful. And Triamid Pulse allows us to revive rocks, and I think it might be worth our time to banish a couple more rocks and pop this Ignite Burst, because in the current state of things, it doesn't seem like there's a good way to out our Utgarda. So we're going to banish the 2 rocks, which will also trigger our nicely placed Nemesis Keystone. Pop that, which means it won't resolve, and now we are in a little bit of a better position so far, unless that is another Metal Foe's name. So we are just going to wait, see what they're going to do. What are they going to do? Set a back row, which is great. It cannot be Dynamiscus, hopefully, because they do not have a card to discard. So we are going to grab back the Nemesis Keystone, which we can even summon. This combined with Triamid Pulse works very well. Adamancipator Franz, which is another great draw. It allows us to add a rock. We get to excavate 6, or if we summon Keystone first, which I think we should do, we get to excavate 7. So we're going to shuffle back the Kartorin, which is a great shuffle back. Summon the Keystone. And then, what is that back row? It is Metal Foes Combination, which does not matter just yet. We're going to go Adamancipator Friends, which can allow us to get a good card. Adamancer Crystal. None of these are exactly the best. Might as well add something. We revealed 2 Kartorans, unfortunately. Revival Golem or Tackle Crusader we could use to our benefit, but I don't really see a good way to... Actually, yes I do. We are going to grab Tackle Crusader of all things. Next, we're just going to return all of these, unfortunately, to the bottom of the deck. So now we can go Tackle Crusader. We are going to go Utgarda, tributing these 2, which will trigger the Tackle Crusader. We're going to banish the combination. And then now we can use Triamid Pulse later on, but Tackle Crusader can allow us to pop the Ignite. So this deck actually has a lot of staying power, even more than I was expecting, and bounce it. So now Triamid Pulse can allow us to pop... I didn't realize it was a bounce. I made a slight mistake, slight miscalculation. Thought it was pop. And we can pop the Volflame. And if we want to switch... Except the turn this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Volflame. They're going to be adding it back, which means they do have scales. But hopefully we can beat over... We're going to go a little bit on the aggression and beat over the Ignite. Hopefully not too much can happen, and Nemesis Keystone will be coming back to our hand. A great recycling card. I can't imagine why they aren't playing more than one. Why we aren't, I mean. This duel seems to be a decent back and forth, and this is against Ignite Metal Foes, which is not the worst deck in the world. So let's see what that draw was. I imagine we're going to be going Scale Volflame, Scale the Ignite, and searching, unless that spell has something to say about it, unless that draw. Lance Pharynchus, which is interesting. Popping the Lance Pharynchus and setting... What are we setting? A Parametal Foes Fusion. Fortunately, I don't think, unless that is another Metal Foes name, we cannot use the Parametal Foes Fusion. Kartoran is not the best draw here, but that is okay. We can go Keystone, cycle back the Tackle Crusader, and wow, this is just the dream, isn't it? Then we can normal summon the Kartoran. We'll go Utgarda, tributing these 2 to banish... Let's go banish this monster. That's amazing. It was an Ignite Templar, and now we can swing for 2,200. Now, unless that is a Metal Foes name, I'm terrified of them drawing a Metal Foes, because if they draw a Metal Foes, then that's a Mithrilium, and that immediately gets their tempos started. So, with that Parametal Foes Fusion, let's go ahead and look at the effect. 1 from your hand, field, and or face-up extra deck. So I really don't like the idea of having this where they can use it. So we are going to go with this, and I did not realize it said face-up card, but we do get the Keystone back, so that's okay. We're going to pop the Volflame. So that doesn't really stop as much as I thought it did, but that does banish the Keystone to get it back to our hand. Probably could have left that for my opponent's turn, though, and just gotten rid of the Mithrilium, but I was getting a little bit terrified. That's okay. Slight misplay. Still seems like we are in the advantage here. Main phase 1. Unless that's a Metal Foes name, we should be safe. And that is just another back row, which is okay. As long as we keep going Utgarda beat, we should be able to do this. Adamancipator Analyzer is a great card to have now. We can extend our plays even further unless that is a Torrential Tribute, which hopefully it's not, but it doesn't appear to be. Oh, there's a Torrential Tribute. That's a Kartoran Excavate and Utgarda, a Shining Peace Philia, which I don't know which one I want. I think Kartoran seems more accessible multiple times, but at the same time we're banishing each thing. Shining Peaceophilia is just going to go to the graveyard anyways. I think we're going to take the Kartoran. So now we're going to return these 4. And now we can actually go for a Synchro if we wanted to, although I don't really want to. Thinking we can still just keep going, keep playing it safe. We're going to return the banished Kartoran to the deck. Special summoning the Keystone. And then the Keystone can allow us to go Utgarda. And we're playing it very safe just because I am absolutely terrified of this back row. So we are going to banish this new back row, which is an Ignite Reload. And then, unfortunately, we don't have enough rocks in graveyard to take advantage of Triamid Pulse unless we go for a little bit of extra spice. That middle back row is still that Parametalphos Fusion that is not usable right now. So if we go link these 2 off, we can make a Codebreaker Virus Swordsman and then go Triamid Pulse to revive the Utgarda. We're going to go Rock type in our graveyard. We are going to be banishing the Keystone and banishing the Kartoran to special summon the Utgarda. In defense position, unfortunately. I could have done this main phase too, but that's okay. So we are going to keep our fairly strong field. We are going to grab back the Keystone. And hopefully, unless they top deck a Metalfoe's name, we should be fine. So now they're going to draw, and we are going to be confident in our fairly strong board, honestly. We have, if they try to... Oh, no! Oh, goodness gracious, the worst situation has happened. Which is very bad, but I think we can play through a Mithrilium. We have options to survive. Parametalphos Fusion is not the end of the world. I imagine a Mithrilium, or maybe even an Orichalc? No, I couldn't see an Orichalc. It has to be Mithrilium. Volflame and a Cavalier, any Pendulum monster, makes Mithrilium. You can target 2 Metalfoes cards in your graveyard and 1 card on the field, shuffle the first 2 in the graveyard, and return the third to the hand. I imagine the one they are going to be returning is the Generator to beat it over, to not have to beat over it, which is okay, I suppose. The Codebreaker does come back, so we can work with this. And they have placed it in the Geonator Transverser zone. So we could try to steal their own Metalfoes Mithrilium and replace it with a Keystone, as long as we can get enough monsters on the field, and Adamancipator Seeker seems like the best way to do that. So we first can go Nemesis Keystone. This is what I want to replace. Returning the banished Kartoran for the 4th time, I believe, at least. Then we're going to go Adamancipator Seeker, and as long as we can hit a rock monster, we can make Geonator Transverser a rock monster that we can summon, I mean. Shining Peaceophilia will do it. Kartoran will do it. Either of these will do it. So we will grab the Kartoran, which has been the name of this video. And then we can make the one, the only, Geonator Transverser, which should allow us to hopefully close out this game soon. We're going to go Geonator Transverser, switching these 2. And now Triamid Pulse we can actually use to pop our own Nemesis Keystone, just to ensure we have lethal. I believe we do, but I want to be safe. So we are going to banish the Kartoran, banish the Adamancipator Seeker. We've been doing the same gameplay loop multiple times, popping the Nemesis Keystone, going to battle, and swinging in for definitely over lethal. At this point, we're going to go swing in with the Transverser and swing in with the Codebreaker. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this series is looking up. We have got quite the streak going of 1, at least. And I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. As you heard before, the Discord server should be out soon, depending on the time I release this video. And I hope to see you in the next one. So please share, like, and subscribe, and have a great day. Peace.